Alright, so I'm gonna teach you guys some techniques and tricks to help you be better at Brawl. Let's be honest, some of you guys need this considering how bad you guys are. But hey, don't worry, I'm also in that boat. Everybody sucks in their own way. Pause. Alright, first little thing I'm gonna show you is the good old M's gadget pushback extra damage combination, which is patent approved by your boy. Basically, when you're playing M's, there's actually a little habit you guys should start doing when you're like, using the pushback. Normally, people will just like press the gadget and just like, then shoot, you know what I'm saying? But you honestly shouldn't do that. You should, get into the habit of pressing your gadget and then shooting with M's. So this is what it looks like. You want to go like, you know what I'm saying? That actually gives you more damage. And for the next one is the Ruffs Tato chip. As you guys know, Ruffs' hyper is kind of like it's very, unique. When you're playing Ruffs, you're really not doing anything special besides just playing support. And the way his hyper works actually can be really cool. So what you should, try to do with Ruffs is think of his hyper as like a stat boost. When you pop your hyper, you get like a, little stat boost, you get faster and more damage. So you should honestly, think of his hyper as like, pop his hyper like this, and then give yourself the super, because then you would get 2 hypers and all you have to do is get your super back, and then you can just like pop your hyper once again, give it to your teammates, and then you have literally like 2 free like max speed stat boosts. All right, so the next tip I'm going to show you guys is the Grayington. I'm gonna be honest, there's really only one thing that's you can do with Gray, and if you learn this is actually pretty good, because especially like modes like knockout and bounty where a kill is very important. If you manage to do this with Gray, you pretty much have a nice chance to get a kill. So what you want to do is just like gadget, and then as soon as you like grab them, you just super backwards. This works in like all directions, you know what I'm saying? You can do it from like down, above. You can also do a little variation where you just like yank him and then TP forward. It works the same way. This really takes a little bit of practice, get it down, because it's actually very important timing. So what I like to do just to show you guys is right before it hits is where you TP. So right before it hits, boom, TP like that, you know what I'm saying? As soon as you think it's gonna hit, immediately TP. This is gonna require a little bit of practice, as you can tell. You guys are clearly not gonna get this the first try, but try this at home. All right, next thing I want to show you guys is the double Bibi super hit, which you can do for some extra damage. So what you want to do is whack someone like this, and then hit him twice with your bubble. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I actually hit this guy for 800 twice. So one more time, I'm gonna hit him like this, and it actually goes for twice. I'm gonna do it once more to show you guys, and it actually requires a little bit of low ping and good timing. So just like a little bit, stand right behind it. You see like these little circles on your character. You don't ever want to be like inside, you know what I'm saying, of like the circle. Always want to be outside. That's pretty much like the only way you can probably proc it. You could maybe proc it inside, but it's just circles. Make sure like the circle of your brawler under it doesn't touch, and then whack, and then go super again. Boom. It's actually pretty useful when you think about it. A little bit of extra damage, especially when you're facing like tanks or a Mortis. This is gonna take a little bit of practice, but you guys can do it. Next up is a good old disgusting Mortis. There really isn't much to Mortis besides the fact that he's just a disgusting, filthy brawler. But there's actually something really cool with Mortis, and that's his gadget. The one that goes through walls and stuff. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. So as you can see, when I, if you see like right now with my screen, it doesn't go through the wall. It says it's not gonna go through the wall, but if I actually, gadget, I go through it. So you can get away with actual tomfoolery depending on how good you are with your gadget. So I can literally just like, gadget not even halfway across this and go completely over. It's actually insane. This actually works in pretty much any map you can think of. If you're like in the zone right here and then you gotta get out, you just like, gadget like this and you TP literally over. So like with the power imagination, you can pretty much get away with a bunch of just like, tomfoolery. So if you're like, fighting this guy, you just like gadget back like this and then TP across the wall, and I'm still gonna die, please. Next thing is a good old penny barrel action. Really old, good fashioned, pretty much everyone knows how to do this pretty much. So instead of just hitting like, your regular character for, 1960, you can actually walk up, auto aim, and then do pretty much a lot of damage. And this also depends on the star power. If you're running boom boom, penny will not be able to do that much damage, but I think the max you can do is I think 6,000. Actually, let me just get this 7,000. Wow, okay. I've been wondering, second best. This is, I know this already, but unfortunately, not everyone does because some of you guys actually suck. So what I like to do with, you know, Penny is player in a heist mostly. This works perfectly fine versus the heist save. Honestly, very good versus the heist save. So if you're like a little chubby punny Penny, you know, walking up the safe like this by yourself, you can obviously just like put your gadget down and start going absolutely. Oh, that's there you go. Absolutely just insane in the safe. You know, I just did what, like, I don't even know, like 10%. Let me actually see. So if you go like this, wait, no, whoops. I want to be in front of the penny barrel a little bit. So you want to be actually a good amount versus the penny barrel. And then you want to, like, you know, one shot. Let's see, 53%. Let's see what one shot does. A lot. Next up is a good old old-fashioned Fang combo I like to do to maximize my Fang damage. Believe it or not, you can actually, like, you know, super and then attack at the same time and then gadget and then super again and then probably perchance maybe attack again really fast by canceling the animation. I just nerded out right there. Very sorry about that, but it's crucial for your Brawl Stars knowledge. So what I like to do is like a super really fast and then gadget. You know, I just look at all that. I just did so much. 9,000. You can't see it up there because of my beautiful wife, fortunately blocking the screen. But I just did like 4 things at once. Let me do it again real quick, like this, and then boom, gadget really fast. And yeah, just to slowly go through the movements. You want to attack, then super really fast, attack again, then gadget. So attack, super, attack really fast, gadget really fast when you hit someone. So super, attack, and then boom, do it again, and then, you know, do your manual attacks again. So yeah, that's Fang's cool trick. Unfortunately, Fang is not that meta, but in case he ever comes meta again, I got you, bro. All right, so next thing I want to show you guys is, you know, a little thing I like to do with Peirce. As you guys know, with his star power, his last bullet always slows on impacts, and you kind of want to maximize that as much as possible. Like if you hit that shot, the enemy is pretty much done for. Not only does it slow, but also hits you for 3,000 damage. So you should always try to, like, you know, cycle those shots as much as possible. So what I like to do is hit the shot first, pop a gadget immediately, and just keep shooting like this every single time. This should be, you know, common practice between Peirce players. You know what I'm saying? Here I'm just like cycling 3Ks insanely well. This is pretty common, but, you know, a little something if for the Peirce players out there that don't know it, you can like slow pop gadget immediately and then, you know, do it again and then keep doing it that, and you know, it's still a habit, you know what I'm saying? All right, so another thing I want to show you guys is a little bit of a visual representation of how you guys want to play Kaze. So as you can see, I'm actually playing ranked right here. This is actually an old stream. Check out the streams, you know what I'm saying? We playing ranked, have a good time, good vibes. But what I want to show you guys is how you guys can play Kaze differently. You know, Kaze actually has a really good gadget which allows her to heal. You can actually cycle it pretty well. So right here I'm playing Heistington, and at the start of this clip I'm going to go towards the right side. So as you can see, I'm going towards the right side, and I have a pretty bad matchup. Not really, could be bad, but it really isn't that bad. But obviously Cord, Bell, Colt isn't gonna be a matchup where you want to just, like, you know, dash in front of them. So what I like to do here as soon as possible is hop into my other form, and I just, you know, go about, you know, dodging a little bit, dodge as much as you can, and just, you know, wait until I get my other gadget back. As you can see, I'm just like dodging nicely here, and as soon as I pop my gadget, as you can see, I have pretty much a free 2,400 HP to pop whenever I want. So what you want to do basically is just like pop the gadget, you know, dodge in the corner a little bit, boom, 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 shakalaka versus any range. For example, Colt, Bell, all that stuff. And as soon as I get my gadget, you know what I'm saying? This guy, I mean, I don't really need the gadget personally, but you know, here I just pop my gadget, boom, I'm full HP in the corner. This is what you want to like do when you're making space for yourself as Kaze versus very bad matchups like Cord, Colt, any range really that you can't dash upon. You want to just like slowly inch up, you know what I'm saying, with your healing gadget. Just like, you know, as you can see here, I somehow was like here with like half HP, and I somehow, you know, got up there in the corner, which you want to do as Kaze with full HP. So next thing I want to show you guys is something with the good old Rico. We have our good old fashioned second best Ubu to show us how it's done. So I'm gonna kill you. So as you can see, we're playing a little bit of heist here, and I'm playing Rico, which is Rico's best map probably. So as you guys know, if I just like super like this, I'm never gonna ever shoot the save. But if I hyper and then super in this exact way, I'm gonna hit the save. As you can see, I got little cheeky 7% there. You can actually get away with 10% here if you just like, same thing here with the left side of the wall, right side of the wall, you go like this, bounce, bounce twice. The more times you bounce it, pause, is you know, longer range on your hyper super. But I mostly recommend just doing it like this. Maybe you can get like, you know, cheeky, a little bit extra 10% here. Here I got like 7 again, 6, like 6% there, but you know, you get the gist. All right, so another thing I like to do with the Stewington, if you're ever playing Stew in like a mode like knockout, you know, not knockout, but like bounty, stuff like that, is if you're 1 HP, think of his dash as a sort of healing mechanism, especially if you have his hyper. So if you like hyper like this and go through a wall, you actually get a little bit too much HP, you know what I'm saying? Like think of his dash and his heal as like, you know, you heal once you dash, and if you're like dashing in a wall like this all the time like that, you get infinite heals. Something little, you know, you can do if you're facing like a low DPS brawler, for example, like Meeple, Cole, from a range, like long range like this, you know what I'm saying, like this, you know, like there I just heal like 2k. All right, next thing I want to show you guys is a little bit of a little Colette tip. You guys don't know, like read the kits at all. So what I like to do is when you're playing Colette, you kind of want to hit the safe and also hit people too to maximize her shield star power. So what I like to do here is, you know, hit the safe like this. Every single time you hit something with Colette's super, you actually get some shields. So look at that. Try to hit me now. Yeah, look, he does 920. And this actually works well with her hyper, considering her hyper gives her an extra super. So if you like hyper and then you hit someone with it and the safe, you come back like that. Try to hit me. Well, it kind of like maxes out at 928, but you guys know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? All right, so next thing I want to show you guys is something with Mo that I actually got wrong in my Mo guide, is that Mo has actually different types of ranges. So I'm gonna have my boy here stand in front of me right before he can hit me. So hopefully he just shoot. So right here, he can barely, you know, hit me. So I'm gonna go like this, like that. Yeah, he can barely hit me here. So as you can see, he can't hit me. He can't hit me at all, but guess what? If I try to hit him, I actually hit him. As you can see, I'm actually getting super. He's not hitting me, but I'm hitting him. You might be wondering why that is because Supercell actually did not fix the Mo star power. I have him on the first Mo star power, and I'm on the second one. Just to demonstrate again, he can't hit me. He literally can't hit me, but I can literally hit him, like no matter what. Like, oh, he's hitting me. Now you're cheating, cuz. So as you can see, he's like not hitting me at all, but I can clearly hit him. Actually, no, I'm a little bit far, but yeah, he can't hit me no matter what. Like if he tries it, like he's gonna try and hit me. This absolutely disgusting goober. But if I try to hit him, I actually hit him. You know what I'm saying? I actually hit him no matter what. And a little bit. A little bit to the side right there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I can hit him, but he can't hit me. Also, generally though, a little bit of a tip and trick when you're playing Mo, you should try to like aim your Mo shots, especially if you're like playing range to the side like that. As you can see, his last bit of instance of damage actually gives him a little bit of range. So you can see like it pops down in like a little bit of like a, you know, X. Like think of your last shot as an X, you know what I'm saying? You want to aim like the corner of the X at the enemy. Next up is the good old fashion spike curveball. I actually made a spike curveball video, literally one of my first ever videos. Go watch that, it's actually peak. Honestly, everybody, pretty much every pro knows how to dodge curveball by now, like instinctively, honestly. So right now I'm having this guy just shoot at me in different ways, different, you know, patterns, and I'm just trying to like dodge it, you know what I'm saying? Like right here he's trying to like, you know, hit me. He hit one there. I wasn't really paying attention, but normally though, the way you want to dodge curveball is kind of like, you know, always, you know, going in the bottom two of like curveball spikes. So as you can see, I'm just like dodging really well. So I'm trying to like, you know, dodge a little bit of a, you know, weirder pattern. I'm not ready. That doesn't count. So as you can see, I'm like dodging nicely. You know what I'm saying? You can actually dodge it every single way possible, depending on how good you are at dodging curveballs. So we get a little bit closer, you know, a little bit closer. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Nice. So good. Second best. You're him. So as you can see, you can actually dodge from many different ways. Close up, you know, non-close up. I'm having like, I'm saying, I didn't get hit. That was a lag, but you know what I'm saying? You know, you can dodge it pretty much everywhere, but it depends on your reaction time. Low-key your ping, you know, that's kind of a glitch right there, but it's all good. All right, next thing I'm gonna show you guys is unfortunately the double shade gadget glitch hack vermin vile disgusting, you know, action here. I'm only showing you guys this so you guys don't do it. 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 Don't. This is like me jumping off a cliff with no parachute to show you guys what happens if you do it with no parachute. What I like to do is just like, you know, attack, and then after like a bit, you're gonna want to like, you know, gadget again. It's filthy. So what I like to do is a little bit of a 1-2 action, like a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 2 being the gadget, 1 being the attack. So 1-2, and if I catch you doing this, I'm gonna give you a 1-2 to your face. You know what I'm saying? So that's 1-2. Another cool thing is a double jump surge thing, which honestly serves no purpose. One, because it's useless, and two, because surge isn't meta. So what I like to do the surge double jump, you guys need to jump IRL. You guys are so disgustingly big. Besides that though, what I like to do is like pop hyper and then, you know, jump it again and then do it again. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know why I have 3 spectators. Like, anyway, if you're watching this, you need to go outside and get a job. Like, there's no way you're spending... you've been here for more than 5 minutes. Go outside, get a job, bruh. You know you are. But basically, though, I like to do, like, the double surge jump thing. So, like, pop hyper, shoot, then jump again. And then, ooh, that's so clean. Oh, shit, it's useless. I don't know, it's just like a flex. Why is there 3 people watching? All right, this is more of a, I'm gonna show you guys like a little thing, a little habit that pros do to maximize hypercharge value, especially with Janet. So as you guys know, Janet's hypercharge allows her to like, you know, do a lot of cool things. So it's actually very useful to like maximize Janet's hyper supercharge. So what you wanna do with Janet is you wanna hyper with Janet and then wait as soon as her hyper ends and then super. So what I mean by that is you pop your hyper like this, you know what I'm saying? You go like this, on all this, walk up, you know, all attack, and then before it ends, you want to super. I missed. No, I didn't miss, but I didn't miss. No, I'm the GOAT. And as you can see, look how much hyper you charge just offers super. If you guys don't know, if you hit some with the super, you charge a lot of super and hyper. So you want to like, you know, be maximizing that. And this way you can actually charge your hyper quite... I'm so sorry. Excuse me, but yeah, you want to maximize your hyper like that. So once again, I want to show you guys. So you want to hyper, you know, do, you know, walk up and do all your basic attacks, all that. And then as soon as it ends, super. And this allows you to charge lots of hyper. Look at that. Oh my goodness. You can pretty much charge almost halfway up to her hyper, and then you just like cycle hypers like that. It's crazy. So another thing that also applies to Buzz. Same thing also applies to Buzz. All hypers, you know, you want to maximize the amount of hypers you have. So you want to like, you know, with Buzz, I like to, you know, like do this, and before it hits, I like to pop. Okay. So the same thing also applies for the Buzzington. You kind of want to like maximize the duration of your hyper by doing things. And one of them is like before I hit the wall, you hyper. This way you don't have to like, you know, spend time supering. You know how like you know, super like this, and then you press hyper, or like you press hyper, and then you super like this. This is not optimal. This is no very optimal, you know what I'm saying? Also, you can like, you know, stun people for long if you just like, you know, do that. But story for another time. But what I want to do is, I want to teach you guys is to maximize your hyper by first supering and then you hyper before it hits. This way you can save a little bit of extra hyper and, you know, get some friends. Some friends. But the last thing I want to show you guys is an optimal chuck setup that I like to do in real games. Unfortunately, not many people do this, but this is what you guys should do. So usually you know like all those like cringe TikTok setups where you can like, you know, I put like one post here, I put like one post there. This is where you hit the save 3 times. Don't do that. All right, it's not that. Don't do that. So what I like to do with Chuck when I'm playing, why is there 3? Yo, there's 3 people spectating. Every single one of you guys go outside. I'm so serious. Go outside. I'm actually like, I'm getting mad, bruh. What I like to do on Chuck is I put my first post like right here, you know, like right, you know, you see this like little part right here, little corner right here. Put it right here. You know what I'm saying? Like walk up, say like you're playing a game, you want to walk up, put your post like right there. You know what I'm saying? Right there. Yeah, right there. And usually in real games, you're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to get free. No, that's not very optimal. So you want to put in the same place, you know what I'm saying? Put in the same place like that. Like in a real game, you're not going to have the luxury to walk up, you know, the safe like that and get all your posts. So put the next one right here, because this is what you're going to do. You're going to go like this. You're going to super, press your gadget really fast, and then flick all the way to the end like that. Now you have a perfect double post setup where you hit the save twice every single time. That's it. This is all you have to do in a real game.